Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about why good men choose to remain single, because that's exactly what's happening in this day and age. And the women, for all their complaining about men, are coming to the realization that they've basically ruined the dynamic between men and women. But before I get into it, let me ask you guys to go ahead, click the subscribe button, go ahead and click on the bell notification symbol and accept the email notifications, because it'll allow me to grow my channel in these difficult times, and I would really appreciate it. Now, here's the thing. There isn't a single Western country that has population replacement rates. Okay, the only countries that have population replacement rates are countries where there is no such thing as feminism. Okay, the idea of trying to put a social requirement on how men and women interact, such that you have to pretend that the woman is, physically the equal of the man, and that socially, they're all the same. It destroys the male-female dynamic. That's all there is to it. You can't give someone who is getting by on their good looks and their charming personality authority. You just can't do it. You know what I mean? You can't even do it with men, right? But when you do it with a woman, she actually thinks that she's earned the authority and the responsibility. I have the pleasure of interacting with some guys, some young men, and I'm not saying that they're bad men. They're successful guys. They're probably like in their 30s, their mid-30s and stuff like that. But they really do look at the world from a female point of view. You know what I mean? It's all about how much money you have, how much influence you have, how many people like you, and things like that. And it's like, no, actually your effectiveness in life, your health in life, that's a little bit more important. So this mindset, this female mindset, check out my recent video, The Female Mindset, where I talk about this in detail, has permeated all aspects of our society and culture. The boys are raised with female values, and they don't understand that by going along with the group and adopting those values, that they're undermining their own effectiveness and physiological ability as a man. It's like a man going to a feminist march and holding up a sign that says, "I'm with her." You know what I mean? It's like, well, good luck, having any sort of testosterone going for the next couple weeks, right? Or hanging around that woman, right? Without her looking at you and smirking. So that's what it's come down to. You know what I mean? The women don't respect this male dynamic. They don't understand that it's physiologically driven, that you don't get to take a 5-foot woman walking up to a 6.5-foot man, and she starts to yell at him. You know what I mean? And call him stupid and stuff. You don't understand. It's physiologically driven, okay? It's going to hurt him more for that to happen than if you were to do that to somebody her own size. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's a very real thing. We are tournament mating species. So when we have these confrontations, real physiological things are taking place. And the male especially, he's geared towards getting things done, right? He's geared towards working effectively in reality and overcoming these obstacles. And it's tied to his physiology, okay? So the man who wins the race needs to get the trophy. Okay, and he needs to be able to stand on the top of the podium. And if you do it any other way, you're going to create this group of sickly, manipulative, underachieving people. And, this isn't hypothetical. That's what we've got. We've got mediocre people who aspire, who just want to be like highly productive and effective people. And they want to put this social requirement of, you have to treat everybody equally over on this physical reality aspect of it. In other words, one guy is my top salesman, and there's a woman who's working, and she's not doing very well, right? And at the end of the month, I want to give some bonuses to my top salesman, and I want the other salespeople to see it and to recognize it. But the least achieving people in the group are suggesting that that's unfair and that I am favoring the more capable. And I kind of am, right? I am favoring the more capable. But I want to encourage them to be, the more capable as well. Takeda Shingen, the Japanese warlord, of course, right? I mean, Department of Redundancy here, would reward his men right there on the battlefield. Any act of courage, boom, bag of gold, okay? Any act of cowardness, boom, some sort of serious physical shaming punishment. And that was it. You know what I mean? That was it. There wasn't a whole bunch of other stuff going along with it. And the idea is that you reward and you encourage the effective, useful behavior. And you punish the ineffective, behavior. And this is how reality works, right? Like if you're trying to pull a piece of fruit down from the tree, and you're not tall enough and you're just standing there and you're just jumping for it, right? You're never getting that fruit. But if you can pick up a stick, and I'm talking to the monkeys out there, right? No, they can pick up a stick or, move a rock underneath there and climb up on it or, find a man to climb up the tree and give it to them. Then they get the fruit and they get rewarded. And they should. Do you see what I mean? Because they were smart and they used their head and they overcame the obstacles and then they reaped the physiological reward. Everything, the feedback system is working. That's how it should work. The young person going to school studies very hard, learns their subject, knows their stuff, comes to take the test, they're confident, they perform well, they get a good grade, they move on in their academic career. It's the same with working out. It's the same with making YouTube videos. It's the same with everything. But then what happens when you have a group of people that are not effective and they want to take the values and invert them, right? Because they're not getting ahead. So as far as they're concerned, the best qualities of a salesman should be to, never come into work, to never close a sale, and to never make anybody feel uncomfortable because that's what they do, So that's what they want to have get rewarded and, and get paid. So we're living in a system, okay, that gives women and ineffective people these tools to say, hey, you've offended me, right? You've upset me. You've said something that doesn't make everybody feel great. Boom. Hey, it's the same thing with a man, right? If the man is just an ineffective drunk who just loses his temper all the time, he's not going to convince anybody of anything. He's not going to get anything done except indulging his own madness. So this isn't even a male-female thing. You know what I mean? This is an effective person who takes personal responsibility versus an individual who wants to get along in the group, does not take any personal responsibility. So the bottom line is this, okay, is that why would a man who is required to take personal responsibility, to be effective in reality, to adapt to circumstances and obstacles and to overcome them, okay? And it's tied to his physiology, meaning if he does it, he feels good, he gets a shot of serotonin, he gets a shot of testosterone. If he does bad, if he fails, boom, just the opposite. He gets nervous, he gets stressed out, he gets weaker. Okay, so why would a creature that exists in the world like that want to get together with somebody who has actual privilege? You know what I mean? Who can just say, no, I don't have the skills. No, I don't know the information, but you're going to have to give me an A and you're going to have to pay me equal to what you're paying that person who is effective and who does have those skills and who did, make those sacrifices to acquire that knowledge. Because if not, you're being unfair. And if you try to talk about this in a reasonable, rational manner, well, you've hurt my feelings. You've hurt the feelings of all the ineffective people. So that's the situation that the men are in, okay? Why is he going to get together with a woman who's behaving like that? He's not. It would be madness. And the idea of building a family? Holy smokes. You would have to be an idiot. You would have to be you would have to be driven by your biology and you would have to not know any better, okay? So that's what the MGTOW message is here for. Don't make that mistake, man. You're raised to be a servant. Your biology is geared towards worshiping the female. The social setting is moving towards this idea of taking people who don't want to be productive and saying that they're the equal of the people who do want to be productive. They are not, okay? People who don't want to be responsible. They don't even want to pay for their own health insurance, okay? They want me to pay for their health insurance. They want to go out, do things, get drunk, have a, whatever lifestyle that they want. And then when they get sick, they want other people to pay for it. Okay, so why would you ever get together with somebody like that on any level? You wouldn't. Not if you were an intelligent man. If you were a young man and you were desperate and you had been raised to believe that we are all equal, and I don't mean, we're all equal in rights, that's fine, of course, and we should be treated fairly, but nobody should be given anything. I don't have to pay for another man. I don't have to pay for other people. I shouldn't have to, okay? So that's the quality that marks out the man, right? This effective, honest dealer in reality, overcoming obstacles. And the main thing that characterizes the woman within this system, the main thing that characterizes the mediocre average person within this system is that you have to protect their rights. You have to make sure they're treated equally. And as I said, I'm not going to treat, my top salesman and my lowest salesman equally. I'm going to reward my top salesman and I'm going to belittle and shame and drive my lower salesman. Either he's going to have to pick it up, he or she, or, I'm going to get rid of him. Right? Because, at the end of next month, boom, lowest salesman is out. We'll try someone new, right? So what? Would I get sued for that attitude? Would I be, hey, well, here is a consideration, okay? would I actually be undermining and being unfair to somebody who had more potential, in the long run, but was a little more flustered in the short run? Sure. Yeah, that's something to definitely consider, right? And again, it's not a male-female thing. It's a personal responsibility thing. You know what I mean? Like if my lowest salesman were to step forward and were to say, hey, I'm just having a bad time. I don't know. It's just not working. I'm trying new things and that, it'd be like, okay, I understand. I mean, that's going to happen, right? But if my lowest salesman steps forward or saleswoman steps forward and says, you're not treating me fairly. The air conditioning, in here is too low. And I don't like the way that, everybody's looking at me. It's like, why would you even want somebody like that in your company? Now, why would you want to get into a partnership with somebody like that? Like of building a family. As I said, you'd have to be exclusively driven by your biology, and you would have had to have completely bought into the social narrative, that women are just these great empowered creatures that just need to be lifted up, and soon enough, we'll have a whole bunch of women Shakespeares, but we won't. We'll have a whole bunch of female Einsteins, but we won't. We'll have a whole bunch of female leaders, like Abraham Lincoln, but we won't. So there you go. So that's why the intelligent, smart men are avoiding, relationships with women, and why, the good men remain single. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.